The first digital resource I decided to focus on is a website called Into the Book. This is a free website for both teachers and students to use, and it focuses on comprehension, which is one of the 5 essentials of reading. At the top of the page, you will see the URL for this website. It is reading.ecb.org. You may also search in Google Into the Book, and it will be one of the first links to come up. This website offers many interactive ways for students in grades K through 6 to better understand different texts and develop their comprehension skills in general. It does so by focusing on 8 different research-based strategies as listed in the description at the bottom of this homepage. They are using prior knowledge, making connections, questioning, visualizing, inferring, summarizing, evaluating, and synthesizing. I will now show how students may use this website. So from the main homepage, students can click on the picture in the middle of the screen and they will be asked if they're bilingual or speak English. They will then be prompted to make an account for the first time, or they can enter in an existing username of theirs. When making an account for the first time, it only requires a first name, which makes it a lot easier for both the teacher and the students. After making an account, students will be brought to this page where they will be able to choose from all of the different research-based strategies to help with their comprehension. As I go through them, they each show a small description of what they mean. So students will be able to choose one of these, and there are different activities listed, and then there is a 9th one that puts them all together. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to click on summarizing. So under summarizing, you can choose between 2 activities, a pirate's life or monsters to the rescue. I chose a pirate's life. So regardless of the activity that the students choose, there will always be a description offered that kind of talks about the strategy being used. It can also read out loud the description that is given. There's also a teaching guide offered that can help teachers to follow along with this lesson and how they may help the students. There's also an additional video offered in every activity that shows a real teacher teaching her class based on a similar lesson. So for this one, she has her own book talking about summarizing. And then students can go on to try it for themselves in the next activity. So from here, students will be given a series of short texts. This first one is a little introduction to Jelly Bones Jones, who is a pirate, stating it, report back to him. Here they actually meet Jelly Bones Jones. Talking in his actual pirate voice, he asks the students to help him make a pirate handbook for new sea dogs. So he needs their help to summarize, the information that he is about to share with them. So the students can go on and continue, and then here he gives some information on how to summarize. He briefly talks about, in his own way, how to summarize, how it should be short, the main idea of a text, and how to add supporting details. Covers those 3 things briefly. So he continues on to start talking about how to take care of his peg leg, definitely one of the bigger things of being a pirate. So in this brief text, students can kind of figure out which might be the main idea, what might be the supporting details. It's actually very interactive. They can choose and drag onto the sail at the right. So they can choose, like I said, the main idea, and then they are able to choose from the different sentences the supporting details. Again, this is just one activity of many. This one's just focusing on summarizing, helping students to understand how to summarize, but all of the other activities are very interactive, just like this one. All of the activities are very interactive. They're all very different from each other, so it keeps it very exciting for the students. They're all guided and even have the option to read aloud to the student, so it is generally very easy for the students to follow along. They also appeal to many different interests. A lot of the storylines follow anything from pirates to cats to castles to monsters. There really is something in it for everyone. The last thing that I would like to share about this resource is that there is this brief page for teachers. So teachers can log on and see how the different activities on this website may be benefiting their students, how they may be used. It also shows how these activities may be meeting academic standards, and so on. The next digital resource that I researched is called WordHippo. As you can see at the top of this page, the URL for this website is wordhippo.com. It can also be accessed by searching WordHippo on Google, and it will be one of the first links to come up. Just like my first digital resource, WordHippo can also be accessed on a Mac, PC, or any other device that has access to the internet. This is a free and basic yet very helpful website that focuses on the essential reading of vocabulary. This website may help students to better understand their given vocabulary words by allowing them to search their words and view different components about them. Not only can it provide their definitions, but it can also provide synonyms, antonyms, rhymes, and so on just from one quick search of a word. I will now show how students may use this website as a tool to better understand their vocabulary words. So from the home screen, you may first notice the large advertisement to the right. You can either exit out of it or try to disregard it because they will keep popping up. If you scroll to the bottom, there are a bunch of links that are also listed at the top, but you can choose from a few different languages here. I chose Spanish. So you can see it transformed the whole website into Spanish. This makes it more accessible for students that speak languages other than English, but for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to go back to English. So back at the main homepage, you can select from the many different tabs at the top, but I think it's best to view the definition of a word first. So let's say a student has the word learn as a vocabulary word. They can type the word learn into the search bar at the top and select find it. They will then be shown the different parts of speech of the word and the different definitions that it may have. They can scroll down and see additional links prompted by their search for the word learn. These are similar to the tabs at the top of the page, but there are also nearby definitions and 5-letter words with different letters in the word learn. So now they may choose to explore the different tabs at the top of the page, so they can click on synonyms, and they will be shown an extensive amount of synonyms. So I see attain, grasp, comprehend, observe. As you can see, there are definitely a lot of words provided under synonyms, and there are synonyms for each part of speech for the word as well. So now they can go ahead and click on antonyms. Very similar, there's a bunch of words provided as antonyms for the word learn. Again, for each part of speech for the word learn. So then they may click on the tab rhymes. Similar to the other pages, a tremendous amount of words provided. These ones are all rhyming, so I see earn, churn. There's definitely a lot provided. Next, they may go on to sentences. They will see the word learn in an extensive amount of sentences given. So in this unit, students will learn all about cellular respiration and so on. There's definitely a lot. They may click on translations of the word learn. At the top you can see from English to whatever language they may choose. Students in elementary school may not use this tab as much, but it might be cool just to kind of explore. There's also find words, so all words they can click on how many letters they want in the word, starting with or ending with. They kind of can just play around with it. So then they may click on the word forms tab, so they can look up plural, singular, past tense, all different, word forms of the word learn. And they will see the past tense of learn is learned. They can just keep exploring with that tab. So the last tab they can click on is pronunciations. If they're having trouble pronouncing a word, or don't know how to pronounce it, they can use this tab and it will actually read the word out loud to them. So that is essentially the whole website. It's pretty straightforward how to use it. Although it can be used by anyone, I think it may be best for students in 3rd grade and up.